Hi, I'm Elyse here at Bowman Library, and I'm here with a whole new teen book spotlight. So, if you haven't heard already, summer reading has officially kicked off. Our theme for this year is Adventures Begin at Your Library. How amazing is that? Because there are so many adventures that we can go on here at the library, from books to programs to just connecting with one another, building community, and that is what we're all about this summer. So if you haven't signed up for summer reading, still have time to do that. But if you have, you've gone on hopefully into Beanstack and you realize not only are there some weekly themes and activities you can do, there's programs you can attend, but there's also various reading themed badges and challenges almost that we have set up for you throughout the summer, challenging you to read different genres, different themes, different types and styles of books, and one of those we are going to use as inspiration for our talk today. One of the badges that you can obtain is for a YA staff pick badge. These are books that we as a staff have gone on and we've tagged and chosen as some of our favorites. Taking some inspiration of that, we're going to talk about 6 of those to maybe give you that inspiration of something that maybe you want to read to help you get that badge, okay? So we have 6 amazing books we're gonna talk about. Some are some of my favorite authors, some are some of my favorite series. So a little bit of something for everyone, so let's get started. Our first one is Grave Mercy, and I will start by saying this. When I read this book, it's something I normally typically would not pick up, but I'm so glad I have. Okay, so this is the first in a completed trilogy. There is a spin-off duology as well, but this is the one that starts it all off. And I will tell you, you do need to read them in order. So start with Grave Mercy here. So it's 1400s in France, and Ismay has run away from her abusive father and her soon-to-be arranged marriage, okay? She wants no part of that. She then finds herself, though, at a convent where the nuns there have a little bit of a unique job, and they are there to train ladies such as Ismay to become assassins. So after completing her training, she is sent to the court of Anne of Brittany to protect the soon-be ruler's brother from being killed, because there are some threats against his life, and she needs to make sure he doesn't die before his historical reign even gets to begin. But naturally, there is way more to this story and situation than Esme could have ever known. And before she knows it, she will find herself not knowing what to believe or what would be the right thing to do, even if that means not accomplishing her mission, okay? So if you like history, weapon assassin wielding nuns and ladies, there is a touch of romance, but I promise the romance does not detract from the story. You still have this incredible, brave female main characters, okay? Loved this book. You want a little bit of some action, some historical fiction, some mystery mixed in, Grave Mercy, and you're gonna want to read the 2 others in the series after you finish this one, okay? I can already tell you that. So Grave Mercy. Okay, Sabotage by Neil Bascom. Okay, so if you've watched enough of these, you know, one of the things I love, and this is a nonfiction, you know how much I love my nonfiction. I love nonfiction that talks about things that has happened in history that we don't know about, but we should. And this is one of these, okay? So it's during World War II. Norway, during World War II, was hoping to remain neutral. But unfortunately, in April of 1940, the Nazis invade Norway's ports, and they intend to capture this city called Vemork, which is a location. Why they want this city is it produces what's called heavy water, and heavy water is essential to the creating atomic bombs. So the Allies, through a series of spy networks and information, they find out what this plan is going to be. And they decide the last thing that needs to happen is the Nazis have an atomic bomb. So they decide they need to figure out a way that they are going to stop the Nazis from accomplishing their goal. And what they come up with is they make these small teams of soldiers, like 2-3 soldiers each, okay? But these teams don't communicate with one another or anything, and they're dropped off randomly into various parts of Norway, okay? There's radio silence, they don't know what's going on, but all they have is the one goal is they need to find out where the Nazis are setting up shop to work on atomic bombs, and then they need to destroy said location. Now the teams move at their own pace. They don't know what is going on, and as they're trying to accomplish this mission, there's also the whole aspect of trying not to be caught, because if they are caught, they will not leave this country alive type deal, okay? It's filled with adventure, suspense, there's tension, and craziest of all, it's true, okay? So if you love nonfiction, you love World War II, you love something that you wish you had learned about way before reading this book, Sabotage. Okay, one of my favorites, and I had to talk about it, unfortunately all our copies are on hold because it's that good, but you can totally put this on hold as well. So this is the Inheritance Games, okay? So Avery Graham says she's just trying to survive and graduate high school. Her mother is dead, her father is nowhere to be found, and she's living in a car with her half-sister as both of them are just trying to make ends meet. Everything changes though when one day she is called to the office at school and there is a man there. She's never seen this person before. He tells her that she has been included in the will of this billionaire named Tobias Hawthorne. She has to come to Texas to hear what she's inheriting because they're not allowed to read the will until everyone is present. Problem is, again, she has no idea who the guy is talking to her. She has no idea who this Tobias Hawthorne person is and what he could have left her. But what he does leave her changes her whole life, and soon Avery finds herself playing games, literally and figuratively. And if she loses, it may cost her her life. This mystery puzzle solving plot, and again, if you like trying to solve puzzles and stuff, this one has that. It's filled with twists and turns, and you may think you know what is coming. I promise you, though, you won't, okay? This is the first in a completed trilogy. There is a fourth book that was a little bit of a spin-off, and then there is another book, I guess technically it'd be number 5, but it is another spin-off from this series coming out this fall. But if you want a quick read, when I mean quick read, I think each chapter is 2 or 3 pages long. If you want a quick read, that's a mystery, has twists and turns, this one right here, The Inheritance Games. Okay, The Serpent King. And first off, I love this book, but I think also I've come to love this author. The author is Jeff Zettner. The Serpent King was the first book he ever wrote. Every single book I have read by him, amazing. So not only do I recommend Serpent King, I recommend pretty much anything by Jeff Zettner. Yeah, amazing author. Especially if you love a good realistic story, and that's what this is, okay? So our book is set here in rural Tennessee, and we follow 3 best friends. Their names are Dill, Lydia, and Travis, and they are basically the outcasts of their school, and they've kind of banded together out of just like necessity. They're just trying to make their way through their senior year in their small town, but they each have their own sets of issues with themselves personally, with their families, with the stigmas, other people's opinions and stereotypes of them. And as they are dealing with all of that, as well as looking to the future, trying to decide what they're doing, having those questions that they don't know how to answer, they try to figure out what is going to happen to them after high school, not only personally, but in their friendship and relationships with one another. It's an amazing story. You won't be able to put it down. Trust me on this one, okay? There is a twist at the end that will be like a slap you on your face moment. I can guarantee you that. Again, love this one. Love anything by Jeff Zettner. No, this is The Serpent King. Okay, 1789, another nonfiction, but this one does things a little bit different. And there's a couple of different ones in this series that explore a year of time, not just in U.S. history, but almost our world history, okay? So this is told in 12 chapters by 12 different authors, and there's like a who's who of amazing nonfiction authors in this book, okay? So you get a little like of something from everyone, okay? This is a nonfiction book that explores a year that normally doesn't get that much notice in history class. I mean, like, can you tell me anything that happened in 1789? But I will tell you it was one of the most important years in history, okay? So what this book does is it focuses not only on the events of that year, but also the culture, literature, philosophies, and more at the time, from the French Revolution to the HMS Bounty, the discovery of the first 140 numbers of pi, You will get to see this 1 year in world history from multiple viewpoints and angles, showing how everything just seems to impact everything and something else immediately, or even sometimes further down the road, and we don't even realize what those impacts are going to be. Again, an amazing, incredible look. If you're not into 1789, like there's 1968, which is all about what happened in that year. So there's others in this type of series, but this one's 1789. And our last one is by a Virginia author who I love. This is Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles. And again, Lamar Giles is like Jeff Zentner, anything by Lamar. But this one is laugh out loud, cringeworthy, like, yeah. So we meet Dell and his best friend Quan are known all over school for their conquests and wild times with girls from their town. But Dell has always had a crush on his classmate Kira Westing. She has basically been unavailable though due to her relationship status for basically all of high school. But when word gets out though that there has been a breakup, Dell knows this is his time to finally make his move. When he gets dragged to church by his mom one Sunday, Kira is there, and well, he's not really paying attention to what's going on because he's too busy staring at her. And when he sees her stand up and go to the front of the church, he decides he's gonna join her, not knowing that what he is actually doing is he's joining a purity pledge group. What started with him having no intention of following through with this group, Dell starts to find himself challenged in evaluating his own behaviors to girls, and maybe that his behavior needs to change, as well as making friends with people he would not have given a second thought to. This is filled with so many topics and conversations. It's a frank look at relationships and how males and females see each other, complete with some incredibly laugh out loud and awkward moments. I will tell you that there are some laugh out loud and there are some awkward moments in this one. This is a must read. It's one of my favorites of the past couple of years. This is Not So Pure and Simple. So these are just some of my staff picks that you can use for your Adventure Begins at your library summer reading badge picks. But we also have some others tagged, so make sure you either come on out to the library. We got a display set up of other staff picks you can pick from, or you can look them up on the catalog. But we are here to help you register for summer reading, get you going to summer reading, encouraging you. So make sure you come on out. We're here to help you out. I hope you have an incredible week, and I hope you tune back next time for a whole new teen book spotlight.